Mining in Nevada really began in 1859, when a large deposit of gold and silver was discovered here at Mount Davidson, the largest mountain of Story County on the Nevada-California border. Its discovery sparked national interest, and soon thousands flocked to the area in hopes of partaking of the riches that Nevada soil had to offer, and soon Virginia City was created. Though many spread across the state in hopes of finding the next Comstock lode, many never got that lucky. Some decent finds were made years later in southern Nevada, but nothing ever came quite as close to size and wealth that the Comstock had to offer. In this video, we seek to explore some abandoned mines in southern Nevada in hopes of learning just what it was like working in these lost underground worlds over 100 years ago. You can see the remnants of ore cart tracks. These were typically ripped out as a cost-saving measure. You can see that they have indeed been ripped out at some point. These must have just not been worth taking. We'll continue in here. You can see the little lines where the cross ties for the ore cart tracks used to be. Light our flashlight. Always wear a hard hat when going into a mine. You don't know what you're going to be hitting your head on. A lot of the clearances are low. Way down here. This.
Yeah, the other one, you didn't have to duck like this.
I'm gonna pull out my stream light and get some more light in here. Some piping. These could be used for pumping oxygen into the mine to eliminate carbon monoxide buildup. Have some sort of processing area here. Another large piece of equipment. Looks like the mine splits off into two different ways here. Yeah, that was a large incline shaft.
Yeah,
Up
you
to
look up it.
Up into another area. Work our tracks are back.
Cut this way.
You can either go straight or branch off to the right here.
Right here, dude, careful.
Looking back at the portal entrance. Is that a vertical shaft?
It's a scoped out area, it looks like. At least you've got a good flashlight. Dude, careful.
So one rule of thumb is never go down old ladders. That could be easily 100 years old. Looking down that way, one to the right, one to the left, and then back to where we came. For a little cross section. It's down the main shaft. But if we turn around here 180 degrees, going the other way, you can see there's this stope of an area. Again, that's where they found probably a vein, and we're able to extract that ore. But it leaves a large open area, and to avoid collapse, we have a set of timbering here. Platform ledge above to stop the rock.
Ventilation tube.
Yeah, ventilation tubing. Exactly right. Some more timbering here. You can see it's just wedged up against the rock in an attempt to prevent its collapse. This large area, as it's called a stope, and you can see that to prevent collapse, we have timbering all along, holding up the roof in this large area. A stope is typically where they find a deposit or vein of ore that's worth collecting, and when they take out that ore, it leaves a large cavernous area. We're going to continue down this shaft. You can see the different material or mineral here. This is what's called this is pretty reminiscent of what would be called a vein. You have some rock that's worth collecting here. Amidst the excess waste rock, you have that very clear line of material. Some piping.
This is where we went last time. This is to Grant Mine, and it goes back a long, long ways.
Oh, that's a different mine, Grant Mine.
Yeah.
So this is back the way we came. It even says get out. You go that way. So if we were coming from that direction, we have a left-hand turn right here. It says it's a dead end. Moving forward, going straight, we have something that says War Eagle lower levels. We know this mine has at least 5, maybe 6 lower levels. But if we look to the right, there's a sign up there that says War Eagle upper levels. So there might be a few down, a few up, or 4 or 5 down, maybe 1 up. We're not sure yet. You can see there, little 4-way stop of cross track or ore track carts. Track. Anyways, we're gonna follow it to the right and do War Eagle upper levels. You can see a little, what used to be an electric operating, perhaps for some of the carts. Maybe they had some electric carts. We know this mine was operated as late as the 1950s. So it's entirely possible that they had electricity in the mine. Moving from carbide lamps to flashlights and electric, stuff like that. See a large stoped out area. You can actually see what's a very good representation of an ore chute. You can see this chute extends up into a different upper level of the mine, and as they would collect ore, they would drop it down this chute, and it would drop down right into a cart right along these tracks here. Come across a box. This is very likely a dynamite containing box. You can see the red tape or so we're gonna go ahead and open it up.
I'm just interested in this way because I didn't come this way before.
What is that? Trojan Powder Company? And a blasting cap? Cool. Is this anything here? Does this flip over? No.
Go look down there. It's pretty cool. We can go back.
As we continued deeper into War Eagle, we actually came across more and more artifacts that were left there from the miners who abandoned them when the mine closed in the late 1950s. Watch your step here. Yeah. Perhaps it... You definitely see some wood where the cart used to go across, supporting these tracks. There's an ore cart down there. Those were electrical. As the housing underneath the cart.
That went straight across here, right?
Yeah, so there's wood beams here. Looks like that used to go across.
Careful.
And it looks like that perhaps the mine continues down that direction.
Yeah.
That direction. I'm not going that way. Not without repelling equipment. Go back to this door. Keep closed at all times. Wow. Well, this is interesting. Take a look at this. At this door, there appears to be another little bit of a window. Pull. That's cute. RPM motor oil. 100% pure. paraffin-based Standard Oil Company of California, San Francisco. Let's take a look at this. It's too bad we can't get a date on this. Oh, we'll just put it back where we found it. And we'll continue on. There's a little bit of a dead end here. Well, not a dead end as much as it's a shaft, vertical shaft going nearly straight up. You can see some other platforms up there, the wood where you would be standing as you climb to the top, and more ladders right here. But one rule of thumb with the abandoned mine is pretty much you never use the ladders. We don't know how old these are. You can see this one's already breaking in several spots. It's just not a reliable source, not a reliable way to be climbing. With proper technique and rappelling equipment, it's possible, but we don't have that with us. We're not going to be doing that today. We're just going to be going along kind of on the flat levels. There is a way up though, so there definitely is at least one, if not, there's another ladder up there, all the way. There's definitely some upper levels, at least one platform up there, it looks like, and perhaps another past it. We're going to continue back, however. As we continue, see a door. Sometimes you think a door will lead down another shaft, in which case it looks like it perhaps does. But oftentimes a door will indicate what's a storage room storing dynamite, blasting caps, stuff of that nature. This looks like it continues on though, so maybe not, as my friend had pointed out. This indeed was a, try to get better light on it. Dangerous, explosives, no smoking. Yes, please, don't smoke. Just as I'd said, oftentimes these were storage rooms for explosives, which obviously that one didn't have any. So perhaps it wasn't a cave-in, but just a small area to store explosives. So this must be the main shaft. We'll continue going. Patented October 27th, 1914, February 9th, 1915, February 23rd, 1915, and July 11th, 1916. Sorry. That's pretty cool. Patent number 46343, Detroit, Michigan. If we look it up, open it up, some information there that's burnt off. You can also see this. Turn on the electricity, you would push this bar up and connect to those copper bushings up there. It's pretty cool. So this is the downward levels. Wow. That goes pretty far. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Fortunately, my light's just not going to be able to pick that up. And that goes down, however far you're seeing on the camera, it goes down about 3 times as far. Oh, but there are stairs here we can use.
We went down, last time we went down 3 levels. It goes 6 though.
3 levels, and there are 6.
Well, that was old.
On the tracks here, you can see these little rollers that would hold the wire, pulling the carts up. It's nice to see that even old branded stuff is comes in English and Spanish. I'm not really quite sure what's in this drum. I would suspect maybe oil, but I don't know. I don't know what's in there. Well, we're at the first landing of the vertical shaft. You can see up there, it's where we came from just now. Maybe about 90, 100, maybe a little over 100 feet up that way. This is what's called a false floor. So this is paneling that you're able to step on, and then we have another level that goes down apparently. And there should be several more, but this landing continues on.
Do you see this right here? How they used to bring the track down from this level? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
At this point, we actually decided to go ahead and leave War Eagle. We headed eastward back towards Pahrump, in which case we came across a little bit of an oasis in the mountainside there. But we continued on. We found another mine that we believe to be a talc mine. Talc has many uses in the industry for crayons, chalk, anything like drywall. Talc is very useful.
There's a fox in this mine that we found. There's ore cart tracks. It had to have been fairly big.
Trying to close this whole thing off.
This is a perfect example of an ore chute. Next to it you can see these are burn marks put in with a carbide lamp, and each dot represents an ore cart that was filled and removed, or a series of carts that were filled and removed of the ore. And that's how they keep track. Is most times you'll see near chutes a numbering system such as this in order to keep track of how much is removed.
This talc mine was much older than War Eagle, as is evident from the carbide lamp markings and the leftover dynamite left behind. A lot less foot traffic going through here, but pretty unique nonetheless. Didn't go too far, but pretty interesting little unmarked mine.
Out here in the middle of the Nevada desert, a small abandoned oasis. Complete with lots of greens, even a palm tree. That tells you how much of an oasis it is.
Out here. Freaking couch, dude.
Builder of home 1906 to 1976. Wow.
It's sad to see traditional mines that we tend to think of, like War Eagle, no longer being utilized. But with the introduction of heavy machinery, open pit mining proved to be much more efficient and safer. Abandoned mines are still a great way to visit the past though, as it offers a glimpse into the daily life of a typical miner, not only in the first half of the 20th century, but as far back as the 1860s, in a time when slavery was still being practiced. The US consisted of only 33 states at the time, and the automobile hadn't been invented for another 40 years.